Let me take you to a place I think you wanna go. It's a good life. Good life, good life, good life, good life in the good life. Good life. The doorbell rang and I got this. Ding dong! It was a package from MPB. This is getting kind of regular. Let's get rid of that box. Interesting packaging. All them holes makes you want to scratch. What's that phobia? Is it trypophobia or something like that? Dun, 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 dun. This is a 6D Mark 1. Yep, I've gone old school. Yeah, look at this. 6D Mark 1 to go with my 6D Mark 2, which is what I'm filming with. Because I've come to the conclusion that the image quality of the 6D, I love it so much when I'm doing my street photography. And I love the full framedness of it so much when I'm doing my street photography. I want to have two, but I don't need two 6D Mark 2s, so I'm going to have a Mark 1 and a Mark 2. And I got this for a reasonable price. I traded in one of my 70Ds that I've had forever. And they've done a great job. Salute. This is the next phase for the multiple media man. Yeah, 6D full frame and 6D Mark II. So looks beautiful. Can't wait to try it out. Let's get a lens on there. Look at this. Look where we are. The battle of ideas. I'm using this as an opportunity to test out 62 and my 61. So we're having a battle of the D's in the battle of ideas, a battle of the D's. So we're gonna see. And some rough debates as well being had right here. I wish I could join in, but I'm here to take pictures and to film, so I can't sit back. But yeah, it's all good. It's all. Preliminary tests have shown that the D, the original D, has got a little something that the second D ain't got. So we're in a good space. We're going into round 2 now, so we're gonna see. Today I've been using 16 35mm on 62 with low camera, and I've got my 135 on the 6D. So I'm doing the long shots with this and the wide shots with this one, with the 62.
and vote at 18, we are in a bit of a mess in many senses. I mean, not only in this country, but, you know, worldwide. What is a child? It's varied through the ages. Through history, it's been different. But at this point in time, we still haven't decided what a child is.
Okay. In the pink.
I'd like to pick up on that.
I'm trying to be quiet because the battle's going on in this room over here. There's one going on in the room down there, the debates.
Okay, so let's pass that microphone to the guy standing up with the blue shirt, and off you go.
So I have two questions.
Keep them short,
Do you think that nudging goes further when the legitimacy of the state is weaker? I ask the question because I live in Italy, where on the 15th of October, either you have the vaccine passport or you pay for a negative vaccine test every 2 days yourself, or you can't go to work anywhere. You know, you can't eat in a restaurant, you can't travel on a long-distance train or bus. It's been very gradual and it's been very conscious, but it does also have its limits, because the legitimate state in Italy, as many people will know, is not strong, and it does also turn many people against doing things like vaccines, so it's very problematic.
Okay, good, interesting insight, thank you.
I'm going to go back to the Skylab now because it's getting a bit late, and then we're going to see what the difference, if there is any, between these two cameras. Both of them have really performed really well, really well. I think just looking on the back of the screen, I know sometimes you can't tell just by looking on the back of the screen, but yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Yep, here it is. This is what we're talking about. This original 6D rocking 135, Canon 135 f2. This is how we was rolling. Can't see nothing, it's so closed. But this is how I was rocking. Most of the shots that you saw, you know, them tight shots, them nice shallow DOF f 2.0, this, and rocking alongside Mark II, the Mark II, yeah, double barrel, look at that. So I was getting the wide shots with this, 15 to 16, I should know what it is by now, shouldn't I? 16 to 35 wide shots, and video and vlogging. Yeah, because you got the flip screen. And just relying on this for the photography, really. And yeah, look, they look very similar. On the back, oops, nearly dropped it there. The backs look similar, which is really handy having, you know, the controls in the same place. That's one of the things that used to always do my head in when I was using a 5D with a 6D. It was actually a 2-day event. The first day I went there with my Chinons. So let's get the Chinons on. I went there, I shot with a 6D, and I bought 50mm. Look how small that is now, look at that. That's what you're talking about, that's what you want really, isn't it? That is what you want, can you see that? Small little package, like that. And I bought my 28 as well, because you know I love my 28. So let's put the 28 on the Mark II. Little chin on 28 on the Mark II. So like this, there you go. That's much more manageable. So the first day was actually these two lenses, yeah, because it was a 2-day event. I was invited, I wasn't invited, well actually it was lastminute.com, so I turned up with my 28s because I was doing some street photography to start off. The first thing I noticed about the Mark I, it is lighter than the Mark II. You probably wouldn't really notice, but definitely you would notice the difference between the weight between this and a 5D Mark II. It is significantly, 6D Mark I is significantly lighter than the 5D. The quiet shutter, let me let you hear the shutter sound. I don't think it's as quiet as the Mark II, but it is pretty quiet and it is a pretty sweet sound. Oh, you hear that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. The shutter sound on it is just therapeutic. This is the Mark II now, this is my baby. Yeah, yeah. You can hear it. This one's slightly lighter. That one's a bit more gutsy. Listen to this again. Let me just do it one more time. Yeah. That sounds like a film camera. The Mark I. The colors. Now this one is quite shocking. It shocked me because the colors of this camera, Mark I, seem to pop in a way that the Mark II doesn't. And I don't know if it's my imagination. I'm gonna have to really test this a bit more. But the colors, I noticed it straight away. When I was doing some shots on the street, the colors were just really saturated and beautiful. And I don't know if it's the way this is set up. I think they're set up exactly the same. I went through the menus and I set them up the same. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from my research, the Mark I doesn't have an anti-alias filter, and I don't know if that affects the color, but it definitely does something, because it's not the same as, I mean, the Mark II is beautiful, but the Mark I, like film, man. Those images, can I say that it's like film? Well, it's more like film than what I've got so far. The Mark I is 20 megapixels, whereas the Mark II is 26 megapixels. So you're gonna have smaller files, you know, less hard drive space, win-win. It's not mirrorless. That's one of the advantages. It's not mirrorless. The optical viewfinder on the street is just, I cannot stress enough how many times I've been using my M50, and because the screen goes to sleep, I go to take a shot and it's black and I can't see nothing. And I have to wake up the machine. I've got to prime it. If I see something happening over there on the shoot, I have to prime it. If it happens instantly in front of me, I'm going to miss it unless I just press the button and hope that it fires. So the optical viewfinder is actually a pro to having these old cameras, these old DSLRs. The battery, I had one battery in this one battery in the Mark II, and it just lasted for both days. One battery for both days. That's what you want, right? Well, that's what I want. The cons, if you can call them cons. There's no flip screen, there's no touch screen. And because I'm used to the touch screen on the Mark II, every time I'm reviewing the images, I'm touching it and nothing's happening. So that's gonna mess with my mind until I get used to that. Or maybe I'll just have to switch and get 2 Mark Is, so that's taken completely out of the equation. There's no dual pixel autofocus. But guess what? I'm using manual lenses, so that doesn't matter. That's a moot point. What did you think from the images that you saw? Pretty good, huh? Original 6D came out in 2012, I think, something like that. The Mark I is better at photos. It's okay at video. The Mark II is better at video. It's okay at photos. They're direct opposite of each other. They actually complement each other really well. If you've got one of each, because I'm not going to need 2 video machines. I mean, this can shoot video. If I was in an event, I can shoot video with this. I can shoot video with this with a dual pixel autofocus. I can use this up front. I can lock this off on a tripod and set the focus. It will work. It does film for 30 minutes, whereas my 5D Mark II would cut out every 12 minutes. So this is actually an upgrade to the 5D Mark II for me. Should you buy a 6D Mark I in 2021? If you're into photography, you don't care about video, then definitely I would say get a 6D Mark I. If you do street photography, definitely get a 6D Mark I. They're light in comparison to other DSLRs. They're full frame. The image quality is just, you see for yourself. I mean, you've seen for yourself. I'm going to show you a few more at the end. But definitely, I would recommend a 6D Mark I for photography in 2021. Of course I would. I just bought one. Anyway, zoom, enough. Talk soon.